And at a time like this, there are businesses that thrive more, such as those involved in giftings and edibles. It's normally a time to crown the year's trading activities on a high note. But with COVID-19 and tight liquidity, well, I wonder how it is looking at the reality of it. Well, we're going to find out that from Omonike George Aidu. She's the Chief Executive Officer of Birth Urge Mercantile Limited. She's involved in a business that does hampers and other gift items, among a whole lot of other things. I think Monica is involved in a whole lot of things. Good morning. Good to have you on the show. Compliments of the season.
Same to you, Hini. How are you doing today?
Doing good. I can see you're still in the Christmas mood.
Of course.
So talk to us. You're involved in, giftings, hampers, and all those edibles that are being shared at this period. Yeah. I wouldn't say let's compare to last year, because last year was a very different year. Yeah. Compared to the year before, that's 2019, how would you say business was before Christmas or for Christmas?
Okay, so I would say for Christmas, for certain, year before, was to some people, to a lot of people, was good. Because at the time, the influx of, or the challenges, of COVID-19 and all that was not really that much at the time. And so looking at the progression from that time up until now, of course, last year was not so good. It was not so good at all. And of course, this year, if we look at what has happened between last year and this year is a little bit of slight improvement from what happened last year, but again, it's not where it used to be. Not where it used to be from the point of view of the disposable income from the consumers, from the people that would like to buy and give out to people. It's a bit tight now because people's sources of income have been challenged. All right. One, for the fact that, yes, there's COVID-19 and people are just trying to see some bit of recovery. And now again, the new wave of COVID is coming up. So everybody is trying to be careful, and especially for gifting. From the edibles point of view, whether we like it or not, we would hit. Yes, we would hit, but inflation has really done a lot of havoc. Especially when you look at hampers. Some people will tell you, oh, I want 100% imported items in my hamper. When you look at that, the prices of that relative to what we did last year, you will see that the markup in terms of increase in cost is over 40%. So,
between last year and this year.
So what you would normally have given to people for, say, 40,000 naira, you're looking at 60, 65,000 naira. And some people will come to you and say, just give me something basic. And for them, basic means just give me mostly Nigerian things, Nigerian items, Nigerian produce. But just do a little of, imported, maybe 1 or 2 items of imported. Again, even Nigerian items are really, really expensive now. Things have gone up. All right? And, when you look at people then buying, so like I said, for food items, for rice, because I sell rice, I sell vegetable oil in this season. For rice, just like I think in the news earlier, you heard the man talking about increase in price and all that. It's really, really, but despite that, people are still buying because
they say Nigerians are just, I saw a short video that was going viral some days ago about how we have this gene that makes us happy in spite of, so we have the ability to adjust.
Absolutely.
So you don't have as much, for instance, this year, you don't have as much demand for hampers as much, and then the composition is different.
Yeah. So for us, last year you would see people say to you that, I just want this, I just want that. Even the last year too was not so good, like I said, because of COVID. But this year, you will see a lot of people tell you, I want more of imported items. Of course, looking at if you like, the value people place on, the recipients of the gifts. So that, in a way, drives what they would want you to put in the pack, all right, in the hamper. And so you also want to look at, you know, the profile of the people they want to give to. And you also don't want to drop the ball.
So does it mean that Nigerian-made produce or products are inferior?
No, not that.
Or are perceived to be inferior?
It's not inferior, but people want to outdo themselves. People feel that on a good day, you will normally buy Nigerian products. If I'm gifting you something, let it be something that you would not, maybe on a regular basis, buy on your own. So I think that a lot of times drives the way people give gifts to others.
So these imported products that you use, do you import them or you also go and buy? So that means you have a double price on it.
So the way it is that we have partnerships with some importers, all right? Of course, they depend on us too to make their sales. And they will not want to give us outrageous prices. So a lot of people depend on open market. But if you have, you know, within your circle, imported people that import these things, you find out that your own prices will be a lot better than people that will probably go scouting for some of these things, you know, on their own. So I think for us, it's a lot more better, yeah, if you want me to put it that way, that it's a lot better for us because we have like partnerships with other people, you know, so it makes our things a lot more less expensive.
Okay, but I mean, for I think this is the 7th time or so, we've seen inflation taper from the NBS. For you as an operator of an SME at a time like this, what's your reality? How does that reflect in your business?
Truth be told, yes, we hear, oh, inflation has reduced by few basis points. But really, the impact on day-to-day activities of SMEs is really not there. You don't see it there. You don't see the impact of the reduction of inflation. Why? Because as it is today, purchasing power is low. You understand? So a lot of times you find out that at the end of the day, when people don't have the money to buy, what's the impact of that on inflation is next to nothing. So I think pretty much we need to, again, appeal to our government that we need to begin to see the reality, all right?
How would you prefer that the government approaches this so that it affects you as an SME? Because, I mean, SMEs occupy or engage a large population, especially people, you know, down there. The big conglomerates are just a couple of them up there.
So I would say that if you look at production, for instance, what we buy, SMEs, what we buy for raw materials are the same things the conglomerates buy as well. But the influence the big conglomerates have is that they buy in bulk.
So it becomes cheaper for them.
It becomes a lot cheaper for them. So I'm beginning to look at it from the point of view of government stepping into, you know, SMEs to say that, guys, come together, give us your demand, and let's see how we can help you to subsidize some of this. All right? Let's say, because raw materials, we don't have everything in Nigeria. Raw materials, port congestions, all of that, transportation, all of this affect, you know.
Taxes.
Taxes. Taxes. Monies that you lose as a business person, you don't necessarily have to lose. And at the end of the day, all of these things come on consumers, come on shoppers. All right? So at the end of the day, people are using little money that they have to buy at funny prices, of which some of these things can actually be nipped in the bud.
But can we plead with you, the SMEs, to help us promote, because we're talking of diversifying the economy so that the economy is not too dependent on oil. And I mean, with people like you, you can help us to push. We know that the taste of a lot of Nigerians is on foreign imported goods. That's why our import bill is so high. Absolutely. And all that. Can we depend on SMEs to help us circulate and push the locally made products, you know, so that we start to reduce our import bill?
So what I'll say to that is that Nigerians generally, we are aspirational in nature. Very aspirational. A Nika now wants to wear a wig that is from Brazilian wig. You know, Ini wants to wear. Why can't we say we want to wear a Nigerian wig? The lady did something for me, and of course I used during my uncle's chieftaincy. It was so beautiful. It was made in Nigeria. There's this plaited wig that was done. Very beautiful. We have exciting things in Nigeria. Our SMEs, we are producing great and amazing things. Amazing things that can actually be imported. So again, we appeal to us Nigerians to please patronize us. Patronize SMEs. We are trying. Please patronize us. All right? And of course, governments also, again, they have a lot to do with that as well. They have a lot to do in that. In that, they should have a quota system for imported items. I've said this before, and I think I'm saying it again. They should have a quota system for imported items to ensure that at least some sort of premium is placed on pricing, so that that can encourage the usage, all right, of products from SMEs. Products. I don't want to say locally. Nicely produced. I know it's
but it's just a
Nigerian
produced. Made.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Omonike, for joining us for this conversation this morning, and we wish you all the best as you enjoy the rest of the holiday.
Thank you so much, Ini. My pleasure to be here.
All right. Thanks. So, Omonike George Aidu is the Chief Executive Officer of Birth Urge Mercantile Limited, and of course, she spoke to us about the business of Christmas. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll look at the government's development plan to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty. To stay with us, it's Business Morning on Channels Television.